Now, the FCC auctions these radio waves all the time. When a company says, gee, I want to, let's say a radio company, or a television company, or an internet company, they say, you know, I need to use some of those radio waves. They go to the FCC, and the FCC says, okay, we're going to auction that radio wave off because we believe in competition and because these radio waves belong to the American people, so we want to get the best price. In the last 25 years, the FCC has conducted over 100 auctions of radio waves. They don't call them radio waves, they call them spectrum. You've heard the term spectrum auction. But the FCC has done a public auction, over 100 of them, of these various radio waves or bands of spectrum. They've brought in $123 billion for the American people. Done an incredible job. So now we're about to assign the special radio waves for 5G. I don't blame them for trying, but three foreign countries, two foreign companies from Luxembourg, I love Luxembourg, great country, and one foreign corporation from Canada, I love Canada. These three foreign-owned satellite companies have gone to the FCC and said, we can do an auction faster than the FCC can. And we need to get these 5G radio waves out to the wireless companies really fast. And if you will just give us, these three foreign satellite companies have said, if you'll just give us those radio waves, we'll auction them off for you, and we'll do it a lot faster than you can. And when I first read about this, Madam President, I said, am I reading this right? The FCC has held over 100 auctions. They brought in $123 billion. We've got these radio waves for 5G that the experts say are worth $60 billion. And instead of auctioning them off and letting everybody fairly compete, these three foreign corporations want the FCC to give them the airwaves and let them auction them off, and the foreign companies get to keep the money. But you know, and I'm astounded. I said, gosh, I couldn't ask for something like that with a straight face. But you know what's even more incredible? The FCC's thinking about doing it. They're thinking about doing it. They're thinking about taking $60 billion that belongs to the American people and giving it to this alliance of companies, two from Luxembourg, one from Canada, saying, here, it's yours. Go auction it off. Even though they've never conducted a spectrum auction in their life. There's another reason that this whole approach is foolhardy, Madam President. 5G is going to be great for the cities. That's where it's going first. But what about the people who don't live in a city? What I'd like to see us do, and I'm encouraging the FCC to do, is to hold a public auction, take some of that $60 billion they're going to get, and use it for rural broadband to make sure that the people who live in rural areas get taken care of, as well as the people who live in the cities. Because our wireless technology companies are going to have to be encouraged. They make a whole lot more money selling in the city than they do out in the rural areas. Now remember, this foreign corporation group says they can do an auction faster, even though they've never done an auction in their lives. They say, we can do it faster and we got to beat China. So give us the radio waves. We'll do a quick auction. We get to keep the $60 billion, but we'll get it out there. There's just one problem. all those wireless technology companies that didn't get to bid, every single one of them is going to file suit. Every one, if we don't do a public auction. So we're going to have this thing tied up in court for 20 years. For 20 years. We're going to be so far behind China, China's going to have lapped us several times. We're going to think we're in first place, but we're really going to be in last place. We need to have a public auction of this internet, of the 5G radio waves. Everybody needs to compete. If we don't want a foreign company to get control of it, and I don't, we can put it in the bid specs. Huawei need not apply. Not personal. But as long as you spy for China, you can't work here. But we need a level playing field. We need to have competition. Competition is a moral good. Everybody needs to get an equal bite at the apple. This doesn't need to be done in a backroom swampy deal. I'm not saying that anybody's brother-in-law is going to get taken care of here. I'm not saying that, but it sure looks swampy. And we need to do it exactly like we've done for the 100 past broadband spectrum auctions. And I'm saying that not only to our Senate colleagues here and to the chair, but I hope I'm speaking clearly enough to the FCC. Do the right thing. Don't give away $60 billion that belongs to the people of America to 2 companies in Luxembourg and one other one in Canada. It's wrong. I suggest the absence of a quorum, Madam President.